It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. And this lemon tree pot is giving me hives. I've tried to ignore it, but I can ignore it no longer. If you don't know what a hot mess is, here you go. I've got freesia in here, which is just, I made the mistake of putting the freesia bulbs in with this lemon tree 2 pottings ago. I've up potted this tree 3 times, 2 times, and I can't get rid of it. So I let it ride, but I think I'm going to blame the freesia for sucking all the nutrients out of the soil because the tree itself does not look bueno at all. Ugh, I've got dieback and I got a lot of leaf miner, which is, I got kind of crazy before we started shooting and I was grooming, but here's a leaf with leaf miner. Yuck. And here's the deal with leaf miner. If you've got citrus, when the leaf miner attacks the flush new growth. So to defoliate all of the leaves at this time of year that have been attacked by leaf miner isn't really going to serve you, because when you cut a tree back, it tends to flush in new growth, which is just going to attract more leaf miner. So it's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. Leaf miner won't kill your tree, but it's just going to make the leaves look kind of gross. Anywho, also, I have not watered the lemon tree enough or regularly. So in this quarantine, when food may become our new currency and lemons are over $1 a piece at the store, if you can get them, and lemons are a fantastic antiseptic. They are so good for you, have so many uses, that my precious little lemons I want to encourage. So I'm going to pull everything out. I'm going to pull out all the succulents. I'm going to pull out these kiwis. You can see that they're getting ready to bloom out. And they're gonna open up to a little flower that isn't going to be very exciting, but the bees do love them. So I will save these and put them in a vase like I did those other aeonium blooms, so the bees can enjoy them. But I'm going to be able to salvage a lot of plant material for future projects. I'm going to cut the freesia back. I think I'm just going to build the soil level up a little bit, add some rock top dressing, and call it a day, and just fertilize this tree and just kind of support it and not underplant it with all kinds of crap. Okay, so here we go. Well, what's this if not satisfying? Isn't this pot already looking better? It's like the lemon tree is saying, thank you, I can breathe. I've still got a lot of detritus in there to clean out. And these freesia, when I pull on them, see, I'm not getting the bulb. So these are just going to make a resurgence every year, which, okay, it's fine. They smell really good. I'll let that ride. I'm not going to dig around in there and try and excavate all those bulbs, but I'm over it for this season. So I'm just going to pull on these. Now, also, with citrus trees, they don't like their feet wet. So I can't continually year after year just raise the soil level. This is not a succulent. But, because, just like with every other plant, the soil level kind of deciduates and it sinks. The plant sinks in the pot. That's why, particularly with citrus, where you're going to have to upplant them from time to time, make sure that you get a pot that's narrower at the bottom and wider at the top, and it doesn't have a funky lip. Because you've all been in that place where you tip the pot, you try to pull the root-bound plant out, and it gets stuck on those round lips or on that broader base. So narrow to wider. If I wanted to take this plant out of the pot, I'd just tip it over and pull. It would come out real easy. I don't need to do that, and I'm only going to add a little bit of soil, probably less than or right around an inch. And then I'm going to top dress with rock after I do that. So I will bring the decorative component of this pot up 1,000%. And also provide some retention, you know, water retention, moisture retention. Oh, look, that's a freesia bulb right there. So it looks kind of like an onion. So I'll set this aside and let this die back. Once the green is done, then I can put the bulb in the garage and I can replant it next year. It is amazing what you can find when you dig out a pot that hasn't really been fussed with in a while. Turns out I at some point top dressed this with this fantastic brick rock, you know, kind of like lava rock, 1 to 2 inch. This stuff is awesome. And I found enough in here that I can do a ribbon underneath my fountain with it. So how exciting is that? Also, you know, don't worry about a little detritus in your pot. This is good organic material. It's going to decompose and add nutrients to the soil. So no stress, no worries about that. Also, I'm taking this opportunity to cut off the dead wood of my citrus. Dead wood, that's how you know it's dead, because it's dead. See there, easy to crack. It's not green in the center, it's brown. So this is not serving anybody or anything. And also a good OCD exercise to just trim up this dead wood. And what I'm telling my citrus tree is, I love you. Be happy, give me lemons. And remember that a healthy tree is more, just like a healthy person is able to fight off disease, so is a healthy plant. So I'm going to take this opportunity to fertilize my lemon. Now is a really good time to fertilize because we're seeing all of this new growth shooting out. So I know that the plant is active, it's not dormant. Bless you, Hannah. It's going to be able to take up nutrients very efficiently. Did you spit all over yourself? Oh dear. Okay. Oh, the suspense, right? Oh, there we go. Okay. Now, you want to follow package directions. You always ask me, well, how much do I fertilize? It tells you on the back exactly how much and when. And I've done this enough, kind of like Grandma's cinnamon rolls. I don't need the measuring cup. I know how much to use. Okay, so I've got my fertilizer down. Then on top of the fertilizer, we talked about that inch of soil. With the fruit tree, I planted this in citrus soil because pH is important when you're growing fruit. This is the only soil I had in the garage. This is Kellogg's Amend, but luckily it is for garden soil for flowers and vegetables, so that's close enough for Jazz. And remember, I'm just offering it more as a top dressing anyway. You know, the fewer times that I can go between waterings on this, the better. So when a tree gets root bound, you have to water it all the time, right? Because there's not a lot of soil to hold the water. So throwing down just a little bit of soil, I'm hoping will also not only help with retention of moisture, but will add a little nutrition as well. And it's fun. It makes me feel like I'm doing something for this tree. You know, I'm so appreciative of all of our first responders, our nurses, our doctors, our medical professionals. They're helping, they're serving, they're healing. And I guess that's where my head is right now. I wouldn't normally care, so bad, but I wouldn't normally care this much about this lemon tree, but I feel like I'm doing something good by tending it, by nurturing it. It's a good meditation. Okay then, now, normally I would water that in, but we did just recently get quite a bit of rain, so this is pretty wet. I'm not going to water right now. I'll water that fertilizer in, you know, a few days or a week. Oh God, does that not look so much better already? Here's another piece of dead wood I can trim off. All right, so again, working with what I got. I found another bag of black 3/4 inch lava in the garage. I thought black would be good in this light colored pot with the green leaves and the yellow lemons. I'm thinking that this is going to be a really nice contrast. So here we go. You know, a couple inches of rock on top of this tree is, I think, just what the doctor ordered. Okay, you know me, I don't like one-dimensional things, so I found some little mini boulders that I can stage in the pot, which just, you know, kind of give it that designer touch. Also, want to encourage you to think outside the box. Not everybody's got citrus fertilizer in their garage. I know coffee grounds are a great fertilizer for food crops. Those of you that have a lot of experience working with organic natural fertilizers, maybe you could comment to help other people learn things that they can do at home to support their citrus and stone fruits. Also, eggshells are great. And now, you know, this is a pretty pot. It looks clean, it looks finished, but it's not personal. If you know, have an item inside or outside that means something to you, that's precious, that's special, something that when you look at it, it's going to make you happy or make you feel heartfelt or, you know, make you meditative or even weepy, I encourage you to stage it in your pot as well. I found such an item. Perfection. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day.